Colleagues and leaders, we are really happy to see everybody during our webinar about artificial intelligence and media and information literate university. We will speak about the opportunities for development. You know that already we had the set of the webinars during which we discussed the experience and expertise in the artificial intelligence sphere in Europe. Okay, so it seems to me that we will start again. So nevertheless, I really glad to see everybody. In this way, we have some technical problems, but nevertheless, we restart. And I would love, with great pleasure, I would like to open our webinar about artificial intelligence and MIL universities, opportunities for development. So we will discuss and we will speak today the theme about opportunities for development of using artificial intelligence in our university practice and expertise. You know that during the spring, we already had the set of the webinars about the artificial intelligence and using and expertise of artificial intelligence in absolutely different countries and in absolutely different continents practically. We spoke about the artificial intelligence use and expertise and experience in the LATAM countries in Latin America. We spoke with our wonderful experts in Europe, in Africa, in Asia, in absolutely different countries and continents. And we decided that it would be a very good idea to prolong our webinars about the artificial intelligence. And just now, we will discuss the opportunities for development of artificial intelligence and media and information literate universities with our wonderful experts. So with great pleasure, I would like to present our wonderful experts. So Dr. Sadia Jami, Director of Research, School of International Communications, University of Nottingham, Ningbo, China. And Mariam Emad Saleh, Master of Project Management from Carrington University, California, United States. Also, Mariam is practitioner, facilitator, innovative and creativity manager from Jordan. And Dr. Shriram Arulchilvan, Associate Professor and Head Department of Media Science, and also Director of Educational Multimedia Research Center, Anna University, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India. And today we will speak with our wonderful speakers about the opportunities of artificial intelligence in university practice. So in this way, we can do the following. So our webinar will consist of two parts. During the first part, we will speak with our speakers and experts. And during the second part, we will discuss about the 2 or 3 specific, interesting, profitable questions. How can we use the artificial intelligence? So we will start. And I would like to ask our first wonderful speaker, Dr. Sadia Jamil, Director of Research, School of International Communications, University of Nottingham, Ningbo, China. And the theme of her presentation speech will be the use of artificial technology in educational institutions, reflections about the Arabian Emirates. Also, I would like to say that Dr. Sadia Jamil has very interesting article about the artificial intelligence in the journalism study in Pakistan. And you can find this article in my LinkedIn profile and also in LinkedIn profile of Dr. Sadia Jamil. So, Dr. Sadia, please be so kind, share with us your ideas, expertise, and experience.
Thank you, Veronica. First of all, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whoever is listening up from the respective part of the world. It is around 10 p.m. in Ningbo, China. And so I would like to extend a very warm greeting to everyone who is listening right now. I'm very happy to meet the organizer of these webinars and our wonderful speakers tonight, Veronica and Felipe, who have been very active in the UNESCO MIL Alliance, in particularly contributing wonderful research and publications talking about MIL cities, a concept that I feel that people like me are quite naive, and I'm just learning about that concept. So if you are interested to research about MIL city, I think Veronica and Felipe, they have been doing great job in this area. So thank you for inviting me tonight in this webinar and organizing this very interesting webinar. Why I say it interesting? Because I know that you both have been working a lot of projects into Latin America, in Europe, in Russia, and in Africa. But this is the first time that we are having some reflections from the Middle East and Asia. So I'm very happy that you have taken this initiative. So without wasting the time, let me share my presentation with all of you. So I think we have been getting up for a transition toward a technological world in a very interesting scenario. Now we have, I think, recovered somehow, if I can roughly say, the impacts of pandemic, and now we are surviving in a post-pandemic world. So we have an opportunity to rethink about human well-being and how we can reshape human life, and how we can achieve sustainable development goals and sustainability in a post-pandemic world. And definitely it gives us a chance to think about how technology can help us to reshape human lives and to reshape our societies in a way that we can not only combat the impacts of COVID-19 pandemic, but as well as we can achieve sustainability for our future generations. And I believe that education is the key. So fostering MIL cities or smart urban spaces which accommodate digitalized education, communication, information is a space that can contribute to human societies and can enable us to achieve SDGs by the target time of 2030. Why I have chosen the case of United Arab Emirates, it's not the case that I have worked and lived over there. I still live over there. It's not that the only point that had intrigued me to talk about UAE today. But it is interesting because UAE is setting an example in the Middle East as first ever country which is actually aggressively acting towards the penetration of digital technology, and I would say AI technology, in its educational institution. So I will be talking about in this presentation about UAE's ambition, what drives them to have an AI-enabled education, why they are so ambitious about that, what initiatives they have taken earlier and even in the post-pandemic scenario. And then we will see about the key challenge about the implementation of AI-enabled education within the context of UAE. So if I have to talk about the UAE ambition towards a digitalized education, this is not a very recent ambition. I go back to the time when United Nations was gearing up for the development of sustainable development goals, which every nation is striving to achieve by 2030. And UAE was one of the countries in the Middle East and prominently in the global South that actively took that initiative to implement on SDGs. But the core idea was that to have an educated nation to achieve the broader goals of SDGs. And they realized that back to 2012, that digitalization is the key driver if they want to have an educated nation. So digitalization and having a nationwide education was something that they understood as parallel goals. So we saw that in 2012, that was the first ever establishment back to UAE with the establishment of Mohammed bin Rashid Smart Learning Program. And that was the first ever time when UAE government took initiatives for the implementation of digitalization and particularly for the use of artificial intelligence within its educational setting. As I mentioned earlier, the broader objective of the government and the Ministry of Education was to have a unique learning experiences, not only for the students, for the teachers, for the parents, but rather to have a digitalized education that can help the nation to achieve broader goals of sustainable development in all 17 areas of the priorities. So that was a multi-stakeholder approach. They combined digitalization, education as the prime goal together to have the best learning experience they could offer to students, teachers, and parents. Having said that, that was an ambition that was quite unique within the Middle East because it required an infrastructure that could entail digitalized education. It required intellectual resources for students, for teachers to get part of that AI-enabled education infrastructure. So that ambition earlier, I would say before pandemic, it could feel like, oh my goodness, it could be like something, oh, it's too much ambitious. But we have seen it's almost 10 years or 11 years the UAE government have been very persistent regardless of the COVID-19 pandemic. We have experienced 3 years of pandemic, but regardless of the COVID situation, the government have been quite persistent in its ambition and achievements and initiatives. So there has not been any deadlock, we can say, but rather we can say some of the slowdown of the process if we see go back to the educational institutions in UAE. And I will coming back to both sort of educational institutions, the primary school, higher secondary schools, and of course, what is happening in the universities. So starting with the school level education, we see that UAE is the first ever country, I would not say in the Middle East and the global south, but rather in the world that has introduced the E-Safe School initiative in accordance to the EU standards of the safe internet usage. So we see that no matter a private or a public school in UAE, they both offer E-Safe schools to their students and teachers. So they have introduced the concept of safe internet, and we can roughly say that the government is quite particular about the digital safety. So they are teaching the concept of internet safety, digital safety to students from the primary and higher secondary school levels. So I would say this is the first ever benchmark achievement we can mark in UAE, which is happening at the school level. At the tertiary educational level, when we come back to the universities, we have some very prominent examples back to UAE. So one of the landmark educational institutions, Mohammed bin Zayed University of Artificial Intelligence, is one of the most prominent AI educational institutions in UAE that has encouraged students to take computer sciences, AI technology, and robotics as major, and they have fueled their research projects with all sort of resources to have more AI-driven research. But other than this Muhammad bin Zayed University of Artificial Intelligence, we have some of the prominent public sector universities. For example, Khalifa University of Science and Technology, where I have already worked before coming to China. And we have United Arab Emirates University. These are the two prominent public sector universities that are encouraging AI-enabled education, and they are considered as the hub for AI research. In terms of the private sector universities, Sorbonne University in Abu Dhabi, which is a French educational institution operating in Abu Dhabi, it has been quite collaborative and active with the government and non-government organizations back to UAE for AI research and AI education. So we can say that it's not just at the school level, but the UAE government has been very consistent to provide AI-enabled education at school and at university level both. So what exactly they expect in terms of AI-enabled education? So Ministry of Education envisaged that we will have a generation of students who can deal with AI softwares, AI technology, and they will definitely transform their career choices. They will transform different sectors, different industries, and that will ultimately impact on decision making and different processes across different sectors of the country. But the first expected outcome is that to have the trained skills among the students who are able to adapt themselves with the technological transformations and who are able to have career choices in terms of the technological changes that we are facing. So that is the first expected outcome that ministry and of course the educational institution expect back to UAE. But the question is that, okay, we think that AI enable education is a great ambition of UAE, and the government is active, it is consistent, regardless of the pandemic. But coming back to the darker side of the situation, I have been talking quite optimistic. We have seen very good initiatives, we have seen very good examples that UAE has set until now. But are there any challenges? Of course, there are challenges. We all agree that AI is changing the quality and the quantity of available jobs. That means it will transform different careers, different industries, and the skills that will be required by the professionals will be altogether changed maybe in next 5 years' time or maybe in next couple of years' time. So the question that is challenging for us is how skills can be developed across different age groups and genders. So we see that we have primary school education, we have higher secondary education, we have university level education. The concern is that whether students of different age groups, teachers of different age groups, of different genders, they are able to adapt their skills to use AI-driven education, that is a challenge. So of course, we have initiatives, we are expecting outcomes, but we are concerned about the skills, how to integrate technological skills among different age groups, among different genders, among people from different backgrounds. Because, for example, UAE is a multicultural country. We do have the staff, trained staff teaching in educational institution that comes from different backgrounds, different nationalities. So we have to think about the skills altogether, not only from the national perspective, not from Emirati perspective, but even from international perspective. So my first concern, what is my observation and based on my initial research is about developing skills to manage artificial intelligence. So the first set of skills that we need is how students, teachers can manage AI softwares, AI tools, whether they are ready to accept it or not. When I talk about the first skill, theoretically, this is a work under progress. We talk about the acceptance of technologies. And we think that all the technology acceptance theories that we have been working in the past, we need to have a new model of technology that consider very advanced aspects, particularly in terms of age, gender, cultural and societal restrictions, people's individual orientations and attitudes. So we propose that if we have to develop skills to manage AI tools within education, we have to think about all these moderating variables that will be serving as the determinant of the use of the technology. So it's not about initiative on the paper. It's not about ambition. It's not about documenting what we have been doing, for example, investing money, having an institution that, research about artificial intelligence, but to deeply integrate it among students, among teachers, among researchers. We need to think about whether they are ready to accept it or not. If they are not ready to accept it, they will not be efficiently able to manage AI-driven education. And remember, as I mentioned, it's not about Emirati students. It's not about Emirati students. UAE is a multinational, multicultural society. Right now, we have a huge proportion of foreign staff that is serving educational institutions, even in the schools, even in the university. So we have to think about all the moderating factors and variables that can impact on their skills and ability to manage AI tools. The second aspect in terms of the skills is about working with AI. So when we talk about working with AI, it's about every individual has a different mechanism for problem solving. They have different capabilities. So again, the moderating variables of age, gender, background does matter. So the question here that we propose in our research project is that, is there any gender discrimination when students work with AI? Are male students more acceptable and they're more proficient to work with AI tools than female students? Particularly why this question is crucial, because UAE is evolving culturally in terms of women education and women participation in different sectors. So when we talk about the implementation of technology, we do talk about gender. While I agree that this moderating variable is quite crucial to examine even in the countries of the global north, but when we talk about Middle East or any conservative society, we feel that the aspect of age, gender, voluntary participation to work with AI, they all have very important role for working with AI and problem solving skills among students as well as teachers. And finally, the third set of a skill, which is quite crucial with the concept of MIL living with AI. So going back to the concept of MIL city, an urban space which offers technologically developed education, digitally connected communication, and well-connected information space. So we envisage an urban space which which is underpinned by digital technology, digital infrastructure, as well as media literate citizens. So the third skill, living with AI, we envisage that we need to develop some moderating variables. What exactly can impact in people's skill and capabilities to live with AI technology? So for example, we go and back, we start doing survey back to UAE. We talk to students of different age groups, different backgrounds and different genders. We go back and talk to faculty. Are you okay to live with AI? And remember, we are not talking about the common masses of different age groups or different backgrounds. No, we are going and doing this research in educational institutions. Living with AI again requires people acceptance with technology and whether they are able to accept that or not. So we envisage that these three challenges must be addressed in the policy document of UAE, moving beyond highlighting initiatives and achievements which the country has been demonstrating. But the real challenge persists. And the real challenge is about to make students and teachers able to manage AI, to work with it, to live with it. So, is there any framework? Is there any parameter? Is there any constant measurement that the Emirati government is doing for the adoption of AI in educational institution, which I believe is missing? So, the policy document, I think, is wonderful in terms of explaining what has been done, what they envisage to do. But I believe there is a need to develop metrics to measure the penetration and the impact of AI enabled education in the country and to measure the skill sets. It's not about that, okay, we have wonderful institutions, they are offering blah blah blah. Good enough. We agree they are offering. But what is the measurement? How do you assess that? How do you evaluate that? This is, I believe, that this work needs to be done. And I think this is one of the primary motivation that I have geared up for research into this area to develop a framework to measure the skill sets of students and faculty for AI enabled education. With that, I will take a leave now without taking too much time. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you so much, Sadia. Yes, some more minutes which we discussed, but nevertheless it was very interesting, very profitable, very useful, it seems to me. Of course, I would like to say that it seems to me that for us it was very interesting and profitable. Again, I would like to mention and underline to the experience in the Emirates University, how it works, or maybe how it's necessary to do. And of course, I would like to thank you for your questions which you ask in future. So in this way, I would like to ask very shortly, Professor Philippa Chibas-Ortiz, so your addition and your comment, please.
Thank you so much, dear Veronica. Thank you so much to all for your presence, for your contributions in this special webinar. I would like to share some ideas with you. I am very happy to be here. I want to welcome everyone together with Dr. Veronica Yarnik, of course. I want to say thank you very much for your readiness to be speakers on our UNESCO Global Initiative Milk City webinar. I want to especially thank Dr. Sadia Jamel, Ms. Almara, Emmail Saleh, and Dr. Ziran Arolcheban. The main idea of this webinar is to present AI practice in the universities in the Middle East, Gulf countries, and Asia. We would like to gather and share best practice, cases, and opportunities to develop them. We would also like this space to be an instrument that encourages you to read more about AI and milk cities. These two pillars of our time, AI and milk cities, are very, very important. But so what is Milk City? What is Milk University City? These two models. Our panelists answered these and other questions. We also suggest that you read carefully our the translation into Arabic of our book From Smart Cities to Milk Cities, metric inspired by UNESCO's vision. This translation is very important to expand our ideas. We need to make everyone literate to read and to research about these two pillars. That's my initial words. I will to say thank you again, and we got the floor for to our wonderful panelists. Thank you.
you so much, Felipe, and of course, thank you so much, Sadia, again. Unfortunately, Sadia will leave us, and she will not be the panelist during the second part of our webinar. So, but nevertheless, Sadia, I would like to say you again many thanks for the opportunity to share with us the experience and expertise the artificial intelligence in the University of the Arabian Emirates. Thank you so much. But now we are jump to the Gulf countries, and so our wonderful second speaker, Miriam Emad Saleh, and so she will tell us the theme of her presentation and her speech. But I would like also to mention that she will be the translator of our book about the MILCT metrics. So you also see this information in our banner of this webinar. So, Miriam, please, your part. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Veronica, for your introduction. Hi, everyone. It's my pleasure to be part of this webinar. And allow me to introduce myself. I am Mariam, and I have this pleasure to translate the MILCT's book. And it's really interesting to be part of this alliance. It's really amazing because as a IT background, I study computer science and my bachelor degree, and my master degree is in business administration. So I have both combination to study, and I used to work with UNESCO in Amman, Jordan. So I have this magical combination with these kind of three things. Allow me to give you a small brief about universities and AI in my country. Here in Jordan, we have 44 universities. It's distributed between public and private and university colleges. And they are operating under special law, and others are operating under regional law. Most important thing to be mentioned regarding to our topic, that we have around 11 private and government universities. They teach AI as in their departments. So we have IT faculty, and there is department specifically to teach and to give education specifically in AI. So the student will have bachelor degree specifically in artificial intelligence. So we have like C of graduated students. They will be specialized in artificial intelligence. According to UNESCO, we know that the global leader, the education is the global leader in UNESCO pillars, because it's a basic human right and it's a foundation for peace and sustainable development. And as we all know that United Nations, UNESCO, as part of United Nations, is a specialized agency for education, and it provides global and regional leadership to drive progress and strengthening resilience and capacity of national systems and several learners, and responding to contemporary global challenges through transformative learning, and to be up to date people or up to date learners. We need to study AI. I remember in the Industrial Revolution, they were saying that the truck will remove the farmers from the space, but it was on the opposite. It was on the contrary. The truck needed farmers to operate it. So it's the same with the AI. We need people who study AI, and we need people who know how to deal with AI in order to operate the AI system. That's why this is the very important collaboration between AI and education, and the upcoming and the future of the technology. UNESCO is very clever and the MILCTs is very clever to highlight such a thing, because we are up-to-date people, and we needed to have this kind of advantages and disadvantages of having AI in our ecosystem. As entrepreneur, I am the founder of the Jordan Voices. And as entrepreneur, I know that there is advantages and disadvantages of using AI. specifically in ethics part. So it's very important to have AI, but it's very important to have ethics. That's why we will have Meal Cities Alliance here. It's going to make procedures and lists of requirements, how to use AI and where to use AI. And it's very risky not to have ethics regarding to use AI with the universities and our day-to-day use. And that's why we needed the AI Alliance, and we needed the Meal Cities to be there in every university in the world. Just to give you a small brief about best universities in the world who teach AI, we have USA, we have Germany, we have Canada, UK, China, and Japan. Arab world is not one of them, but I believe if we put our efforts to highlight the Meal Cities with universities, this would push the Arab universities and North African universities to be one of the best universities to teach AI, because there is a lot of effort. I can see it. I am part of this region, and I can see that we have put a lot of efforts in establishing these departments in universities, and we need to have this kind of third hand, which is Meal Cities, Meal Alliance cities, to be part of these regulations and rules for giving this AI the golden touch. And just to give you a brief, I am the one who translated Meal Cities, and it's very, very fun to translate such a beautiful book. And I am involving in each word and each statement with Meal Cities to move it from English to Arabic. And I believe that my soul is part of it, because it's not an easy to translate it to my culture and to my language. And at the same time, it's really, really important to have such a thing in all the languages of the world, not only English and Arabic and Spanish and French. But allow me to give you this good news. Within 3 days, inshallah, we will have Meal Cities book in Arabic language, and we will be able to present it to the Middle East and North African people. And as Professor Philippe know, that yesterday we have a meeting with the Moroccan very, very important governor there. So we fingers crossed that we will have collaboration with Morocco as well. So this is my part, and hopefully I brief it very well. And I'm really, really glad to see you all from all around the world.
Thank you so much, and Maryam, really, it was absolutely wonderful. I would like to say you're in time. Absolutely, it's wonderful. I would like to say, and of course, I would like to say that there are very, very good news, not only about the opportunities for the Middle East, if we speak about the combination of two things, the artificial intelligence, which is absolutely modern question now, and also if we speak about the media and information literate today, and we understand that, of course, as you told us, it's necessary to have the procedures, and you, as a leader of Jordan Voice, for example, also, you told about it. It's absolutely a good idea, and of course, I would like to support and cross fingers about the new Morocco meeting, and about, of course, about the opportunity, the translation, our book with so many participants from different continents, from different countries, also in Arabian. And of course, I'm absolutely sure that together with Professor Philippe Chibus-Ortiz, maybe we think about the next book with the Arabian contribution also.
Yeah, why not? I believe it's the most fun part of the book is the cartoons and characteristics at the end of the book. We are all children inside, so it's really fun to have these kind of words translated and interpreted in a very fun and cartoon characteristics. And I believe maybe we can develop it into a movie later. I don't know.
Surely, it's a good idea.
Let me tell you something. This point is very important because the adolescents young people need to understand the concept, university concept, and the alphabet, the media and information literacy concept, of course. And in my opinion, it's very important to this book. We need this book in different language. We need, for example, in English and in Spanish, in Portuguese, and whatever. And of course, it's very important the point about the necessity of different skills about soft skills and hard skills.
Yes.
This mix is very important to discuss these concepts, mainly city network. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes, and I, for the last words of Filippo Ciba, Dr. Filippo Cibas Ortiz, I would like to add, as the specialist in media education, I would like to say that all these soft skills about media and information literacy and artificial intelligence, it seems to me, so now they are transferring to the hard skills. It's such skills which necessary to use all people all over the world, starting from the primary school. So on this fresh idea, I would like to say that we can jump to India, and with great pleasure, I would like to present our next expert, Dr. Shriram Arul Chulvan. He is from India, from Anna University, Chennai, Tamil Nadu. And Dr. Shriram will tell us about artificial intelligence in MIL, new interventions and cases from India. So, Dr. Shriram, please.
Yes.
You are the next.
Yeah, very good morning, Philip. Good evening to Veronica, I hope. Igor, Sadia, Almariam. I hope for Sadia it's a good night. Huh? Okay. Actually it's a very good initiative. I congratulate and thank Philip and Veronica. It's a very useful talk series. As you already said, we don't want to go further. What is the importance of artificial intelligence and other things? Specifically, I want to go to Indian scenario about how the Indian universities are using or following AI in for various aspects. I am sharing my PowerPoint also. Yes, I hope you have seen my PowerPoint. Yes. How AI in Indian universities.
Yes, we see everything. Everything is okay, so you can go,
Yeah.
Dr. Shriram.
Yeah. Yes.
Great.
So I'm skipping all these basic informations. Directly, I'm going to. In Indian context, the Indian universities are following and adapting AI in two aspects. Number one is they are providing a lot of artificial intelligence programs. They are offering the bachelor degrees and master degrees in engineering and science discipline nomenclature. They are providing a lot of artificial intelligence and machine learning programs. So it has a lot of job opportunities, employment opportunities. So many youngsters, those who are going to entering into the colleges, they are selecting these AI programs. AI program means the degree programs, and some it's a bachelor's and master's. Another side, how the Indian universities are adapting for teaching and learning and other administrative purposes. India, it has one of the largest education system in the world, because already it's everyone know the truth, because it's a population is very heavy, very high population. We have all the technologies, However, the quality of education in India is often criticized for being outdated and not meeting the needs. But last two decades, we are incorporating, our universities are incorporating lot of technological advances. Now, AI is one of the great opportunity the universities are adapting immediately. Now, many Indian universities are using somehow. I can go in deep. What are the uses they are done? They are using it for innovation, scalability, customization, accessibility, efficiency, and resource optimization. Here you can see practically what they are doing. They are using AI for the campus management. It is called the smart campus management. Many, I can say, many private universities, many private universities are using AI immediately because they're giving a lot of revenue resources, money resources. Public universities and state universities, they can't adapt immediately because there are a lot of bureaucratic approaches and a shortage of revenue. But private universities immediately started using smart campus management. Then they are doing it for learning analytics, how the students are using, studying, what are the resources they are seeking from the different sources, what is the understanding capability, pace of learning, everything. Then personalized education, what is the individual students need, what they are going to study, what is the strength in the school and bachelor degrees, like that. Then they are doing a lot of research and data collections from the individuals and groups at the various degree level. Then they are using it for language translation. It is used for everyone. It is used by everyone. So language translation they are doing, because in India we are having a lot of universities. Each and every universities they are following. They are their location is in different states. In India, we are having different languages. I hope you understand. Each and every state, we are having separate language, not a common language throughout India. So they are having their own regional language. They are translating into English and others and other neighboring language. Then they want to use it for, they are using it for student engagement. Engage the student engagement, because the engaging the student is not an easy task. Teachers, professors can spend some time, maybe 5 hours or 4 hours. It is also a huge time. During the working hours, they can manage, they are engaging the students in different aspects, apart from the class, face-to-face classes. After the face-to-face classes, they are doing, they want to engage the student. That time they are using it in, they are using the AI to engage and monitor the students. In what way AI support in the university administration? It gives 24/7 support through chatbot. If a particular student or individual student or anyone, they want to get some information from the particular university, the chatbot, AI chatbot, it helps. Then they are using virtual academic advisors. If any student, they want to search the particular program or course to enroll, which university is suitable, which course is suitable, which program is better for the career, like that. For that, traditionally the professors and some administrative admission directors, admission officers, they are spending a lot of time for advising and counseling to select a particular course. Now, through AI, they're using virtual academic advisors. Then they are getting feedback and assessment support. It's a traditional way also there. Now they are using AI support for students with disabilities. Sometimes some of the students, if they are not able, they are having some kind of disability, maybe a hearing disability or a visual disability or some other things. They are using different kind of AI tools. Then proactive alerts for at-risk students. If they are having some kind of risk for a girl student or a disabled student or particular community or caste student, they are giving some proactive alerts. it is very beginning stage, not much. Okay. The improved student engagement, I already told, they are using the how they are engaging, they are giving them assignments or give monitoring or providing some other kind of work, and giving information about the other events to join that is related to the particular discipline. Then language support for the non-native speakers. Since I already told, we are having a lot of language barriers because each and every state we are having our own language, then enhancing the student experience. These are the kind of things used by the Indian universities with the support of artificial intelligence technology. Okay, our universities are using these kind of things, but they are also facing a lot of challenges. Implementing AI in higher education comes with several challenges, including the need for significant investment. As I already told, the private universities, not all the private universities, some big universities, they are investing a lot of money for technology and infrastructures. Also, they are worrying about the data privacy and security. A lot of security and safety issues are coming, even though several breaches and threats are there. Then, every society, every university, all the students, they are thinking that if the new technology is coming, automatically some job displacement or less number of employment will be there. That kind of the challenges are there. These challenges must be addressed properly for AI to be successfully implemented in Indian universities. Whatever kind of advisors or successful implementation we are providing, but in the initial stages, initial period, the challenges should be there. Everyone has some misconception and misunderstanding, and they are not able to use properly the technology. But nowadays, like the smartphone, Android technology, software, the AI also is very user friendly, even though it needs some time to use it in a proper manner. So here I want to give, these are the things our Indian universities are adopting AI in limited context, not in the full potential. They are not fully extensive. Okay. Now the private universities are implementing in a larger way. Government and public universities, they are also started, but not that much. Anyway, I am giving some few case studies. If the time permits, I am going to present some cases. The Indian Institute of Technology, IIT, is a top technological institute. Kharagpur, IIT, they are having more than 15 IITs. The Kharagpur is one of the campus. The IIT Kharagpur launched an AI-driven platform that offers online courses in collaboration with industry partners. They partner with some industries. They provide online courses. The platform uses AI to provide personalized course recommendations, assess student performance, and offer real-time feedback. It also incorporates NLP for interactive assignments and quizzes. What is the impact? The impact of AI-powered online courses have significantly expanded access to quality education, reaching a global audience. Earlier, the number of students, more number of students only from the Indian continent and neighboring states, neighboring countries. But now it is reaching the global audience. The student benefit from tailored learning experiences, and the university gains insights into students' progress and for the continuous improvement. Another campus is the University of Delhi. It is the New Delhi is the capital of our country. The Delhi is because the Delhi University is one of the popular university. They introduced the AI chatbot for admission process. So during the admission process, most of the students, they are getting the basic information and clarifications and doubt clarifications, everything through this AI chatbot. What is the impact? The AI chatbot reduces the workload of the university staff for clarifying the admission process and several doubts, while simultaneously offering quick and accurate information to prospective students. Sometimes, if the student is asking repeatedly the same question, the person will be tensed and they won't give further in-depth clarification. But the machine, the chatbot is giving repeatedly several times without having any tension. Then Anna University, our own Anna University, during the COVID period, we conducted the university semester examinations through AI-powered remote proctoring solutions, because we conducted the courses programs and examination through online. That time we used AI. It used the use of facial recognition and machine learning to monitoring the students while taking online examination, ensuring the academic integrity. What is the impact? The AI-driven proctoring system helped maintain the integrity of examinations during the pandemic, preventing the cheating and the plagiarism. Normally, whatever we are doing, the student have some kind of mentality, some kind of attitude. They want to cheat and copy from the other places. So it controlled that. It also provided a convenient and secure way for students to write the examination from their home. Then Manipal Academy of Higher Education, they also used AI enhanced student support. It is, as I already told, it provides the AI-based admission system. So the AI-driven virtual academic advisor assists the student for the course selection, career planning, and what are the study strategies. The virtual advisor uses natural language processing to interact with the students and offer personalized guidance. What is the impact? The virtual advisor improves the student retention rates and academic success by providing students with tailored support and guidance throughout the academic semester. So these are the I gave I think 3-4 case studies I presented from our Indian universities. This AI provide the benefits of the Indian universities for the enhanced learning experience, improved student outcomes, efficiency and cost savings in the admission process and other things, monitoring, enhanced research and innovation, student support and engagement, personalized career guidance, efficient examination process. It's a personal case study because it's from our own university, continuous skill development and monitoring, enhancing the accessibility of diverse needs, and innovative pedagogical supports. Also, we are having some recommendations. Invest in AI infrastructure. It is not a spend money, it's a investment. So the universities can invest more. They can also should train. In the first presentation, Sadia said that faculty and the teachers also should know. Yes, the faculty training and development in the area of AI should be very essential. The collaborate with the industry partners, start with pilot projects also needed, continuous evaluation, student and stakeholder engagement is also needed, awareness and training for the students. Whenever we are introducing some new technology, we should create the awareness. What are the things we are going to do? What will be the benefits like that? We should give the details to the students and scalability planning. So challenges already discussed. There is no need of new. So what is the future of AI in Indian universities? The Indian universities is promising. It has a lot of potential to transform the way to teach and learn, conduct researches and manage the administrative process, student admission and continuous monitoring, everything, the future of AI. If they are investing more money on that, more capability on that, their workload will be very easy. The achievement rate will be very high. However, it is very important to address the challenges of implementing AI and ensure that it is used ethically and responsibly in the education sector. Because now, earlier we are using the term is providing education is a service. Now it is not a service. It's like it's also a biggest industry in the world. We should play the AI in an ethical manner and a responsible manner. Yes, so the AI has a lot of potential to revolutions there, higher education, especially in India, by providing personalized learning experiences, accelerating research and streamlining administrative tasks. AI can help to meet the students' needs and contribute to the advancement of the knowledge gaining. However, it is important to address the challenges of implementing AI and ensure that it is used ethically and responsibly. Thank you.
Great. Great.
Dear Professor Shriram, thank you so much. So all my non-verbal just about time.
Thank you.
You
Thank you.
you understand it. Thank you so much, really. So now we can have some summarizing of our attempts to understand how can we use our MIL practice and the practice and expertise in MIL universities with artificial intelligence. So in this way, I would like to summarize our first panel and our first part of our webinar in the following way. So it seems to me that it was very interesting idea from Dr. Sadia Jamil that maybe, of course, that we live in the multicultural field and multicultural environment. So maybe also the practice of artificial intelligence could give the equal rights for different genders, by the way, because it's the digital way, it's absolutely equal for everybody. Also, of course, I would like to say thank you for Maryam Ahmad Saleh about your ideas about the new opportunities as a translation maybe, or maybe also the meeting and pushing and work with the city halls and governments and different reps from the government, pushing the idea of artificial intelligence and MIL universities, or maybe simply higher education and simply their universities. But I would like to mention and I would like to underline that practically all universities are the MIL hub as minimum. So each campus, by the way. So in this, we also, yes, and also we can speak about these opportunities with the pushing and involving and contribute artificial intelligence.
Your volume is very less.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, but
We got a technical problem, Veronica.
Yes.
yes, I understand, but there is nothing I can say only this way.
Okay.
But also, I would like to say that it was a great impression for me if we speak about your presentation, Dr. Shriram Arulchandran, when you showed as minimum 3 different universities with absolutely different practice in the artificial intelligence. Chatbot for students, it seems to me it's above all as idea, I would like to say. So, but nevertheless, then I would like thank you for different cases and different units, of course. So in this way, I would like to transfer the floor to Professor Felipe Chivas-Ortiz. He is the leader of our second panel. But I would like to ask you to ask Dr. Sadia Jamil from the first question. She will be the volunteer in this flow, because after this question, it's necessary for her to go away. So please, Felipe, start.
Yes, no problem. Thank you so much, dear Veronica. Thank you so much to our colleagues, of course. In my opinion, it's very important 3 questions for this debate. I like so much of ideas, some ideas of everyone. Of course, Dr. Sadia Jamil, Mrs. Almaria Ahmad, and the Dr. Arulchandran. We are very specific in your examples and in your cases and ideas. My question for you. How is the artificial intelligence used in the universities in respective countries today? The second question for everyone: what are the best experience and good practice regarding the use of artificial intelligence from the perspective of mil cities in the universities in your perspective? And the final question: how do you think you can implement policies and strategies in the future that favor the implementation of UNESCO's mil cities paradigm in your respective country? The third question is the more important for us, but you got the floor. Dr. Sadiha Jamil, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Philip. And I'm very happy to attend the wonderful presentations by Mariam and Dr. Arul. Regarding the question of implementation, I would say that I really like the implementation and the cases presented by Dr. Arul about India, because that was very clear and crisp in terms of the implementation. And as I mentioned in my presentation, for example, if you go back and see the policy documents back to UAE, you will see that there is a lot of financial capital being invested in the university, for example, Muhammad bin Zayed University of Artificial Intelligence. So the university itself is a hub for master's and PhD research and program for robotics, computer science, and artificial intelligence research. But if you have to integrate that thing in an educational setting, how can you use, for example, the use of ChatGPT for students? Or, for example, you can use that for student enrollment or any data that you can manage. So that is, I believe, from an administrative point of view, I would say. So I think universities in India, they are making use of AI technology, not only for the research purpose or for the teaching purpose, but they're using for the administrative purpose. This is what I see a very clear distinction between the case of India and UAE. For example, in terms of UAE, you will see the top-notch research projects coming out in robotics, AI, as I mentioned, the case of even Khalifa University or UAEU, for example. But in terms of administration, I see that there is a huge room to integrate AI technology for the administration of educational institution for a better learning and better not only learning experience, but I would say overall educational experience, for example, because there are a lot of data, a lot of admin tasks that can be managed using AI technology, for example. Like if I have robots and chat box for the students and replacing teachers responding to the queries of the students, I think that's a blessing, And this is, in fact, not happening, I feel, even in China. But we have been talking about the use of ChatGPT, and we are more concerned about the ethical issues raising of AI. So if you ask about, for example, University of Nottingham specifically, what we are addressing in all our 3 campuses, we are again aligned very much with UAE, that we are investing a lot of money in research, and we are devising the ethical use of AI, particularly because if you go back to the British universities, they are more concerned about the use of AI technology for the student assignments. So just early this year, we devised a policy which is under the pipeline for approval, that students cannot use any robot or any kind of AI technology for their written assignments, for example. Because if you go back to British universities, they are quite coursework and research incentive. So for example, if they are generating assignment, for example, using a machine, for example, how we are going to assess the genuinity of that assignment. So we are more concerned about research and more concerned about the ethical and legal dilemmas that are arising from the use of AI in educational setting, which I believe is the case of UAE as well. But for example, what I'm inspired from the case of India, they have integrated from an administrative perspective, because that will increase the efficacy of educational institutions. So that I see a future potential. I'm not sure how much British universities, because I come from a British university, were operating in China, how much they are interested to integrate AI in their administrative tasks. But for sure, I would say that we have invested huge amounts for research and of course for addressing the policy related issues, ethical and legal issues related to AI. But the administrative aspect is very interesting that I would like to adopt. I would say, if I have to prepare any recommendation, the administrative aspect of AI technology and its integration in educational institution is something that I see has prospects. So for example, if any institution has money, they can easily integrate that in their educational institution for administrative purposes. All what I go back to my presentation where that talks about working with AI, living with AI. And I think in that way, India is making more pace, I would say, because I think the educational institution, they are making more pace, because I think that's a question. The skill, the required skill, not only for the student, for the admin staff, for the for the entire operation of the educational institution. So if I have to summarize before I leave, I think back to China, back to UAE, I think we are more concentrating on the broader initiatives that we can highlight in our policy documents. And there is a need for a bottom up approach. So, if we want to enhance the experience of students and teachers, for example, it has to integrate in the administration of or operation of the university, not just coming up with big research projects, not addressing ethical or legal dilemmas. This is what is my takeaway. And thank you, Dr. Arul, for a very insightful presentation, because this is what I think I will be sharing in my faculty research meeting, how to integrate AI in our operation and for administrative tasks. Thank you.
Great.
With that, Dr. Felipe and Dr. Veronica, thank you. You gave me a chance to see both of you virtually at least, and of course to meet Mariam and Arul through this webinar. I will be leaving. It's quite late in China and I have to travel early morning. So I'm sorry. I will take a leave from the webinar now, and I look forward to working with all of you. So you can always count me in for your upcoming projects. And of course, I would like to welcome all of you for the Nottingham's forthcoming webinars and collaborative events. Thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you. Have a safe
Thank you so
flight.
much. Oh,
Thank you
thank you
so
so
much.
much,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Sadia Jamil. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Very welcome.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Well, let's continue. Please, in our webinar, in the order, let's continue with Almariam, please.
Yeah.
Your answer of our questions.
I believe the first question that you asked is how
Quick
the
questions.
yeah
Yeah.
how does the AI impact education? I believe in the core AI is more about statistics, and because I am from IT background, so using the AI regarding to the education, the most important part of education is the teachers and the students. So this is going to benefit the teachers from the first place, because they can analyze the data, and they can usually have very and better understanding for the admin as well. So we have this hierarchy. So we have the admin, the teachers, the students, and the parents at the bottom of the diagram. But usually when we make the teachers more relaxed using the information and the system, it's going to impact the students on the directly and respectfully. Usually because the admin work is very it's not difficult, but it's very boring for the teachers, because they make a lot of effort giving the teaching mission. So maybe this is an advantage to use AI to give them this privilege and to facilitate their admin work, because they have admin work. Every teacher has an admin work. So using AI to analyze and, data entry of the marks and those things, maybe this is a very important part for the teachers. So I believe I remember backwards, we have this ICDL certificate. It's like a driving license for everyone to have this ICDL certificate, teachers, doctors, nurses, everyone should have this ICDL. And I believe now here in Jordan, we have something relatively speaking look like ICDL, which is a driving license for AI. So it started now. It's a bit expensive, this driving license for AI. But it's very specified, and at the same time, it's ABC for everyone to have. ABC certificate. So we need to know about AI. So we started, I don't know what is it's part of very important organization, but I don't really remember the name, but it gives certificate for AI, how to deal with AI, and it's a very basic. So we were not going to have this gigantic thing called AI, which everyone is afraid of. But with this kind of certificate, which is given to everyone, specifically teachers, it's giving simplified AI concept for everyone, from the normal, I mean, the basic teacher, the first grade teacher, till the lecturers in universities. So this is the first and the most impact thing regarding to AI from my perspective. Can you remind me of the second question, please?
Yes, no problem at all. But because of time, the last one is better. The last one question, that is about the application.
Yeah. As I mentioned, that not everyone is aware of AI, so maybe the certificates would be
Okay.
maybe this is from sample perspective. And the second thing, that the data entry, we need data entry.
The question is, how do you think you can implement policies and strategies in the future that in favor of implementation of Milicity's paradigm with AI? That's the question.
This is the core of our meeting today. I believe if we have specific rules and regulations attached to Milicities, which we can distribute regarding universities, municipalities, museums. So if we have this structure, we can just we can just distribute it on all these kind of governmental institutions. It's easier to it's common language for everyone. After this, we can have these regulations and rules regarding to AI attached to these kind of institutions, museums, libraries, universities, municipalities. So it's like formulating the baby steps for such a thing.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your answer, dear.
You're welcome.
Yeah, but I know we got something highlights here. For example, the importance of the parents. We got here too the importance of gift certificate in AI. The importance, of course, of the basic education about it, and regulations with the municipality, governments, and the city halls. This point is very important because we need the law and ethics in this point. It's not only a technical point. This is a multidisciplinary challenge.
It's at the end of the day, it's a tool, and AI is a tool. It's a normal tool, and it has a risky to use it without ethics and rules and regulations. So we need to form it.
And you talked too about the financial results. The Dr. Sadia Hamel talked about it too. I like so much too about in the presentation of Sadia Hamel. She talked about the importance of ethics, importance of administration. We talk in this approach, Mercedes, about 5 agents of innovation. That is the governments, the second, educators, academics like us, of course, researchers, students. We talk about it about enterprise, technical enterprise, technological enterprise. We talk too about the artists, and finally, we talk too about the citizen. The citizen is essential in this focus, in this approach, and we need these 5 agents, bring together these 5 agents to work together. this is a very, very important point. But let's continue. Dr. Arul Sheba, please talk about your answer about these 3 questions.
I answer to which last question?
Yes, the last question. Yes, please. I can. The last question is, how do you think you can implement policies and strategies in the future that favor Mil cities paradigm with artificial intelligence?
Yes. Normally, whenever we are using some new technology or new things, in the beginning, there is nothing. After some time, based on the usage, based on the utilization, how we are taking it up, what are the benefits and disadvantages, based on that, we are evolving a policy. In India, now they are using it for India. Now the discussion is going on the same as like your question, in what kind we can evolve a policy for the AI use, whether it is useful, how we can, what are the elements we can incorporate, how it will sometimes it will help, sometimes it will curtail the proper usage. So that now actually the discussion is going on. Discussion is going on about how to frame a policy for AI usage. Maybe in the future, what as a ML practitioner, professor of media and communication, I can say we can take all the policies already recommended by UNESCO, especially the MIL. We can extract some important points based on the regional needs. We can incorporate each and every country's policies. That is normally taken, even like if you are taking as a press freedom, we are taking it from some common. So each country, they are changed according to their needs and obligations. Like that, human rights, they take it from the UN, and all the countries, they change it into, according to the fitting into the things. Like that, India also, they are going to frame. Maybe they will take, certainly they will take from the UNESCO, the MIL recommendations. Meanwhile, we can also recommend. We can also recommend to our government bodies. Maybe for that purpose, I can suggest, maybe in the future, we can do create a larger forum, international forum. We can suggest some ideas for framing the policies. That time, if you are recommending to the countries for each region, each country, they can take and modify according to their needs. But at the point, I can't give a concrete information about policies, how they are going to evolve. But I hope this is it is a preliminary stage. We can accept and we can create a new one, and we can suggest, because Philippe, Veronica, and many other people are there in the area. They are working more than a decade. They have a lot of knowledge and information about the MIL. We can recommend. We can give a suggestion to the countries. I hope it's fine.
Thank you so much for your contribution, Dr. Arul Sheba. I like so much your presentation, the challenge. You talk about universities in India, excellent cases, of course, of AI. Your recommendations are very good. Your recommendations, I like it so much. Really, your ideas got the way to implement this model. Thank you so much for your effort and your contribution. We need to work together in this line. In my opinion, this webinar was very interesting and was very rich. We got here experts in AI and Mil cities, and we need together let's construct and grow to the base of these of these concepts. Mill cities and of course AI. These concepts are basics into education, the higher education today. In my opinion, if we work together, we can make many things, and we can make a new approach to education, to middle education, and of course to media and information literacy of the city, all city.
Yes,
That's my opinion. Oh, please, Doctor.
Yes, I can add just one point. Recently in Chennai, our Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, IIT Madras, Chennai, it is located in Chennai. They are going to give the overall consultancy, and they are going to make a AI-based solution for state level, Tamil Nadu state schools. They are having more than 25,000 schools. So they are going to formulate and give a model, AI-based model for improving the school students, especially government schools, children. So as you suggested, we will do a larger context consultation discussions, and we can do some joint projects and investigations, certainly. And if possible, exchanges also. Please visit India to our university.
Thank you so much for your invitation. You, of course, we can do everything together.
Yes.
Let me tell something more. We need research together too. Research, and we need interchange together about mill cities, about AI. That's
Thank you.
That's my final word. Please, Dr. Veronica, if with you.
Yes, thank you so much. I would like to say, of course, first of all, I would like to thank our wonderful experts for this wonderful contribution to today's webinar, of course. And I would like to summarize two things, by the way. So the first is I would like to say that it's our advantages, of course, because we have so different experts with so different experience and with so different ideas. And when we have the opportunity to gather you together from different continents, from different cities, from different universities, so in this way, we have absolutely different focuses and points of view on one problem. It's very profitable. It's not simply interesting. Of course, it's very interesting, but nevertheless, it's absolutely profitable. It's very potential for our resources and for our researchers, and also for our contributions in the development of global UNESCO initiative about MIL Cities Network. Because so I would like to underline that, for example, Dr. Shriram Aruchavan talked about the administrative things, implementation, opportunities, cases in absolutely different fields, by the way. So Dr. Sadia Jamil talked about the education approach, and she talked also about the ethics questions, gender questions, something else, from absolutely another, from the humanitarian side, you see, and also Elmeriam Amata Ahmad, Saleh, sorry, Elmeriam. So she talked about the opportunities, about future, about work with the city halls, municipalities, so on and so forth. It's the first idea. It's absolutely wonderful. It seems to me that only the UNESCO Global Initiative about media and information literate cities could give us such opportunity. And the second idea, which I would like to promote and push today. So I would like to say that if we speak about the MIL universities, I would like to say that universities today, it's not simply media and information literate universities and hubs for development of media and information literacy. I would like to say, as Professor Philip Tibrosortis told, that MIL and artificial intelligence is the combination as the approach, you see. But I would like to say that it's necessary
to add the idea about learning and pedagogical design on the one hand, because it's necessary to understand how to implement artificial intelligence in the learning and teaching process on the one hand. And on the other hand, I would like to say that also instrumental or learning design, it's also about the design of student experience. And the student experience now, it's the idea for the future steps in the implementation of knowledge, in the implementation of not simply skills, but also competences and new competences in the digital sphere, in the MIL sphere, in the communication sphere, in absolutely different ways. So in this way, I would like to underline again that UNESCO Global MIL City Initiative, of course, gets us such opportunity, and gets us such opportunity not only for discussion, but also for researching, also for exchanging our experience and expertise, and also gives us opportunity to share our knowledge and our expertise too. So in this way, I would like to say again so many thanks for our absolutely wonderful speakers, for your efforts, for your contribution, for your time, of course, and for your presentation and speeches, of course. Thank you so much. So your words, and we will close our live broadcasting.
Yeah, thank you so much, Veronica. Thank you, Professor Felipe and Dr. Seram and our other colleagues. Thank you. It was really a pleasure to have you all.
Thank you so much. Dr.
Thank you,
Shriram,
thank you.
any more? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Veronica, Philip, Mariam, and Sadia, Igor also. Thank you. We'll meet again.
Thank you so much again.
Thank
So,
you.
see you soon on Global Meal. See you soon on MIL Global Week through 2 weeks. Thank you so much.